Now, Margaret Barker, in her book, The Great High Priest, in chapter 3 on the Atonement as the rite of healing, she quotes an interesting scholar in the Christian understanding of atonement. Dillistone, she says, made this observation. From the New Testament, there come hints, suggestions, even daring affirmations of a comprehensive cosmic reconciliation. And this involves this doctrine of the atonement. The Book of Mormon puts it as the infinite atonement. When you think about that, that's quite a translation. Infinite atonement. That's an interesting way for Joseph Smith to present this power as a cosmological power in the Book of Mormon in 1829. Margaret Barker, this is on page 42. She goes on to say that rather than coming from the pagan rites, the actual New Testament doctrine of the atonement going back into hoary antiquity, into the Old Testament got its doctrine of the cosmic reconciliation and atonement, not from paganism, but from First Temple Judaism, something that King Josiah reformed out of existence. It was to the First Temple theology that Margaret Barker finds this principle of the cosmological atonement as a rite of healing us from the damages and ravages of sin, the world from the damages and ravages of sin, and the actual cosmos from the ravages and damages of sin. It's a breathtaking doctrine. Barker further shows, on page 45 in her book, that the Eternal Covenant was the system of bonds, and these bonds established and they maintained the creation, what we find ourselves living in. They were the ordering and binding of the forces of chaos, and this kept order manifest so that life could proceed. This is precisely how the Book of Mormon presents the infinite atonement. The power, Jacob says, when we die, we corrupt to dust and we rise no more. This corruption could not put on incorruption, except it is through an infinite atonement. This is precisely what Margaret Barker has discovered with the cosmic covenant through analyzing the various books of Enoch. So this atonement principle, cosmological covenant, there's a lot more to this than we've ever supposed. She goes on to say that when the statutes and the laws of the eternal covenant were broken, then the fabric of the creation began to collapse and chaos set in. It was through the reestablishing of this covenant that the cosmos was saved. The atonement saves us from chaos, among other things. better water in the world than fresh water, mountain water from the mountains. Ah, that's nice. Barker on page 45 quotes Mary Douglas in the Jewish Studies Quarterly on the meaning of the atonement. Terms deriving from cleansing and washing or purging have imported into biblical scholarship distractions, actually, which have occluded Leviticus's own very specific and clear description of what the atonement is. According to the illustrative cases from Leviticus, to atone means to cover, or to recover, to cover again, to repair a hole, or to cure a sickness, to mend a rift, to make good a torn or a broken covering. As a noun, what is translated atonement, expiation, or purgation, means integument made good. Conversely, the examples in the book indicate that defilement means integument torn. Atonement does not mean covering a sin or hiding it from the sight of God so he can't see it. Atonement rather means making good an outer layer which has either rotted away or has been pierced. Hence the rite of atonement as an act of healing.